Everybody get 30, everybody get 10, 20, 20, no 5, everybody get 25, everybody get 30, 30, no 5, everybody get 35, everybody get sold at $30 bill.
Can you talk a little bit about the scope of a commercial or industrial auction? I think it might surprise some people as to how much and all that goes into conducting a successful commercial or industrial auction.
Sure, and similar to many auctions, right? You have assets, you need to find out how to get them to market. You can traditionally, right, we'd put an ad in the paper and 50 people would come to a location and we'd gather around and in real time tell them what this piece is and sell it to them. We do many of the same things at a commercial location. Only it's more efficient now to do this online. We reach a wider audience, and our audience, which many times is national or worldwide, doesn't have to travel to the location. So we front load some of the work, right? Assets need to be organized, just like you would a garage. The only problem with many commercial locations, it's not a 500 square foot garage, it's a 500,000 square foot warehouse. It's just a matter of time, right? So time and experience, and we put together teams that come into a location, set them all up. That many times can take weeks, sometimes it can take days, but it's a part of the process. Things are lined up. Items then are photographed and described in detail, each through just like you would for almost any auction you could consider. The items are marketed. Typically, 2 to 3 weeks will be a general marketing timeline for a commercial or business sale. Items are then sold, sometimes one day, sometimes it takes 3, 4, or 5 days to get all the items in a location sold, and then they're removed. The scope of the removal can be challenging because commercial assets can be different from a TV or a table or a lamp that you might think of purchasing at an auction, right? If we might be selling an overhead boom crane that might take logistically several days or a week to remove. Many times parts of buildings have to be disassembled in order to remove the assets and then put back in. Floors need to be leveled, bolts need to be sheared, electrical needs to be redone. We just sold a warehouse mezzanine in Missouri that the lighting for the ceiling was tied into the warehouse rack we sold. Well, we sold the warehouse rack and we're missing the lights for the ceiling. So an electrical team has to come in and actually correct some of the buildings. All of these are parts of the auction process that are detailed in the contract and detailed in the scope of work that's done by someone going on site and reviewing everything that needs to be done and what potential issues there are that we need to work through.
It's not uncommon for you to have an auction for a particular client and then see similar clients suddenly come out of the woodwork to do similar auctions. I think about Bed Bath & Beyond, for example. We saw you do one auction for them and next thing you know, here's 10 other landlords that all want. Can you talk about that trend? Why they don't start with auction and then suddenly, oh my gosh, auction's the best way to go for our solution here?
I don't know, it's a great question. I don't know if they don't know about the auction process or don't think about it. Many times our clients are landlords or building owners that may not be involved in the particular business or asset world that is in. They own these buildings, their tenants leave. Many landlords don't even touch the assets until they have a new tenant that wants the space and they need to fix that problem, which is empty the building. And then it's whoever they can find online to solve their problem, right? I think the current marketing trends, which involve online or digital marketing, do a lot to enhance what you're doing in an area. We find that as we do a sale in New York, there will typically be an uptick in views, an uptick in phone calls, and an uptick in business in that area. So many times it's generated just from the marketing clicks that we do in a region. Conversely, it can also lend to the asset class, right? So a Bed Bath & Beyond and somebody goes to their computer and types in, how do I sell my store fixtures? And up come, 5 or 6 names, and one of them many times can be us, and we answer the phone, right? So the trick there is to have your business out in the digital world so people can be aware of it when they search, because invariably that's where they're going to go to search. And the second one is really easy: answer your phone.